Well, let's take this on. Joining us now from New York is Abdullah al-Sadi. He's the former Yemeni Ambassador to the United Nations. He resigned 6 months ago in protest at the violence. Also now the Senior Fellow for Middle Eastern Affairs at the International Peace Institute. Welcome to the programme, sir. What do you think of the current position? Saleh saying that he is committed to a deal to end months of spiralling violence. Let's all go to the ballot boxes, he said. Any reason to believe him anymore this time round?
Well, I think the idea of the ballot boxes is good, provided he surrenders power, because you cannot have a fair elections when one side dominates the treasury, the military, the state machinery. His claim that he is willing to surrender power after elections, it runs hollow if he does not surrender power. So what is necessary now is for him to sign without conditions the Gulf cooperation plan and then proceed to an election.
That is what is necessary, but knowing him as you do you think he's likely to do that?
No, I doubt it. I think that the speech today was a maneuver around the plan. He wants to avoid his obligations, which he in the first place is the one who asked for the Gulf to mediate. And then he rejected the different version of the plan. 5 versions were all drafted and for him to suit his conditions. And then he ordered his party to sign, and then he reneged himself from signing. Now he's returning to Yemen, pretending that he's an arbiter between the different political factions in Yemen, which is not the case.
So knowing Yemen, again, as you do, and understanding totally all the complexities, which are many within the country, and given your stated view of Saleh's position, where do you think we're heading now in Yemen?
Well, unfortunately, unless the international community, that is to say the United Nations Security Council, the United States, the European Union, and above all the Gulf Cooperation Council, exert enough pressure on Saleh to abide by his obligations, I think Yemen will descend into armed conflict.
And do you think that will come from the international community? Do you think Saudi Arabia will apply that pressure? They've sent him back to Yemen, so it seems unlikely.
Well, I think the Saudis are committed to the Gulf plan, so I anticipate that they will join others to pressure Saleh to respect his commitment and his obligations. And I expect the UN Security Council, which to tell you the truth has been less than sincere when it deals with Yemen. I think there is this impression they convey that Yemen is, after all, is a peripheral issue, not as a central issue in the Arab Spring, and therefore they let Yemenis die on the street, and they treat the regime with a velvet manner. And I think that there is a need for the international community to come to grips with a deteriorating situation in Yemen.
Just one final thought from you, if you would, sir. The violence that we've seen since Saleh has returned to the country, do you think that he is directly responsible for it? Is he ordering his troops to fire on the opposition protesters?
Well, I think if he is not personally ordering that, I think his family is doing the orders, commanding the forces and ordering the Republican guards and the Central Security to attack peaceful demonstrators.
All right, Ambassador Abdullah al-Sadi, Good to talk to you and get your very interesting perspective on this. Thanks very much indeed.